What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the goat horoscopes for 2021. We're looking at Chinese zodiac here. I've already done Rat in January. We celebrated at the Lunar New Year of the year of the Ox in February, which perfectly lined up because the Ox is the second sign. Why was that word blanking in my mind? Anyway, Tiger in March, the Rabbit in April, the Dragon in May, Snake in June, Horse in July, and so we are up to the Goat. So, as always, the link for this will be in the description if you'd rather just read it yourself, by all means. But let's get into it. So, the 2021 horoscope for Goat people portends that this will be a good year for you. It can bring unexpected changes, surprises, and rebellious or strange new acquaintances. During the year of the Ox, 2021, which does continue until Lunar New Year next year, goats will enjoy a lot of tenderness and love, which is always nice to have. And it's also one of the most important years for those born out of the goat sign, because you'll have outstanding and unique chances of evolving in all spheres of your life, whether those be within your relationships and sort of like your support network, your social life, whether that be career-wise, whether that's actually working or studying, and sort of all the other things that you'd be spending time on, whether it be fitness, mental health, spirituality, all of those sorts of health-related things, mind, body, and soul, or whether it be related to your finances and your wealth. You'll be able to evolve in all of these areas. So, what years are we looking at here? Now, again, I normally take this by the cycle of elements. So we will always start with the wood animal. So the wood goat, your years end in a 5. In fact, the last one was 2015. So we are 6 years past your last year and 6 years away from your next one. But it says for you guys, 2021 can bring interesting job offers. For fire goats, your last year was 1967, which means your next one will be 2027. So the next year will be a fire goat year, which is pretty exciting. It says here, for you guys, be careful when you're traveling, which I think, given the current circumstance of the world, is probably some good advice. In fact, I think the only sort of big thing recently that would have had any involvement for travel was the Olympics. Maybe you were a family member of someone competing, or maybe you were competing yourself. I won't presume to know your life. We then have our Earth Goat. Your last year was 1979, so it's going to be a little while until your next one in, what will that be, 2039. will be your next one. A little while off. Better part of 2 decades away. It says here, you will finally find a person on who you will rely. So you might actually find somebody reliable this year, which is good. Now again, that could be a business partner, that could be a romantic partner, that could just be a friend. It could be, it might even be a superior at work. It's just going to be you're going to have a person that you know that you can rely on. Metal goats, your last year was 1991. So for you guys, the next one's going to be 2051. So we're 30 years away from yours. We are actually halfway through your cycle. You guys are 30 this year, and the full cycle is 60 years. So you're halfway there. And it says here, 2021 is an important year for home and family. And then last but not least, our water goat. Water always seems to be the element at the end of the cycles. It's the same in Western astrology. The water signs come last. It's last but not least. It really is. Your last year was 2003. Your next one, an astonishing 2063 is how far away we are from yours. Which, if I do some quick math in my head, that's 42 years away. So, meaning of life. Alright? It says here, your intuition allows you to happily avoid dangerous situations. Very interesting. Alright. Money and finance is what it started you guys off with. So it says here, during 2021, that you guys will be disorganized, and that business will not be your strong point. Instead, you are going to be great artisans, artists or writers, and you'll be able to pursue with confidence any career that implies using an artistic skill or some creativity, which we love to see. Big avid supporter of the arts industry. People don't often think of it as being, that big, but obviously, as we're seeing at the moment, everybody sort of relies on the things that we produce to make their lives fulfilling and happy and all those sorts of things, especially in the middle of the pandemic. Towards the end of the year, now that could be, if you're looking at just at 2021, that could be November, December. If you're looking at the lunar year, that may flow over into January, potentially February. I'm not exactly sure when Lunar New Year is next year, but could flow over into sort of early 2022 if we're looking at the lunar year here. But towards the end of the year, you might encounter some difficulties in maintaining your focus. You might lose some calm and also some money. So towards the end of the year, it'll be a good opportunity to revisit that budget, because obviously we don't want you just losing money. However, at the same time, that could also come down to you guys just wanting to spoil your family at Christmas, just to bring a bit of happiness into our lives in lockdown. And I'm sure that they would appreciate that. But yeah. So at the same time, you need to control your behavior and what you say so you don't get in trouble. As compensation, few lucky stars are shining in the Goat zodiac sign, which is going to help you finalize your projects with success, which is obviously really good to hear for you guys. It continues by saying that it's important for you guys to mind your own business and to sort of stay out of things. Don't really concern you. You're not involved in it. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. It's fine. It'll sort itself out. And don't engage in gossip or other people's conflicts. That's just going to bring unnecessary bad energy into your life, which is probably just going to expedite stress. You'll probably end up focusing too much on that. That's where you'll lose your focus, and then obviously once you've lost your focus, you'll lose your cool, and then you'll lose the money, as we've seen before. So probably avoid that. It says here that this is a good year for goat natives who own a business. So if you own a business, it's a good year for you guys. The condition is to keep doing what you know to do best. Any new ideas or professional shifts are not going to be successful this year. This is a year to just sort of ride the wave a little bit. Because as it continues on, it does state that the ox's lifestyle does not match the goats. You guys are polar opposites on the zodiac. So, yeah, it's the zodiacs really don't work on an opposites attract sort of a basis. They really don't. You guys are opposites for a reason. Yeah. The area that you might resonate with, however, is the professionalism and a respect for arts and creativity. And in that space, there'll be a communication bridge that might be able to form between the patron of this year, the ox, and some accomplishments may occur, looking specifically at arts and creativity there. When you travel, if you were able to get away with a quick little trip, even if it's just domestic, or simply when you go somewhere to have fun, you guys generally prefer big groups and places with lots of, it says here agitation. I'm interpreting that to mean excitement. So you guys like to go to like amusement parks, for instance. There's always big crowds at those. There's a lot of really fun rides. The atmosphere is alive, and you guys live for that. You charge headlong into it. Goats spend a lot of money on clothes and accessories, which makes you guys extremely elegant, or at least appear that way. And although you love to spend money on everything beautiful that life has to offer, you're never snobbish. You're still grounded. Earth is the element for the goat. And in the Chinese cosmology of it all, Earth is at the center of the compass. It's not, it's not north, it's not south, it's not east, it's not west. You guys are very centered, very down to earth. And so, while you like to enjoy the finer things in life, you keep yourselves grounded, which is really cool. All right, love. 2021 is a yucky. I don't know why my brain went to say yucky. I think it was trying to merge the words of lucky and year together, because that's what it is for you guys. It's a lucky year for love. You guys are very loving, you're very romantic, you're very passionate in a relationship. You'd never create a solid couple with the ox because you guys have nothing in common, as I've said before. So your ideal relationship would bloom with a rabbit or a horse. So horse is only 1 year older than you, or 11 years younger than you, which might seem like a big split, but that's actually the age difference between my parents. One is my father's a rat, which is the first sign, and my mother is a boar, which is the last sign. So there's 11 years difference between them. So it might seem, and I know to some that might seem weird, but to me it's not, because that's just my life. Rabbits, however, are, doing some quick math here, 4 years older or 8 years younger. Just to give you guys sort of a perspective there. You could also fall in love at first sight with the pig, which I believe is your 4 years younger, 8 years older. So if we were to take the thing, start at goat, and then draw an equilateral triangle, the other points would be, I'm pretty sure, pig and rabbit. So those guys are sort of your best bet. The triplicities, as far as that's concerned, generally make the best couples in Chinese astrology. But it says here that both you and the pigs will share the same beliefs, and you understand each other just by exchanging a look. So it might start out that, like, you and whoever this pig person is in your life, it might just start out that you guys seem to just understand each other on like a purely platonic level. You guys seem to share the same mind almost, and yeah, that can also mean that if you're starting to develop feelings for them, maybe they're doing the same thing if you guys are essentially sharing the same mind. If you are interested in compatible zodiac, Chinese zodiac signs in 2021, a couple formed by 2 goat natives. I think this is the first time we've actually seen a sign paired with itself this year. But 2 goat natives can have a dream life provided that they can afford the pleasures they both dream about. So you might know your aesthetic and how you want things to look creatively, aesthetically, whatever. But your partner's going to have the same thing, and if those views don't align, there is going to obviously have to be a bit of compromise, so that you can both get sort of the next best thing to how you both originally envisaged your whole sort of aesthetic, especially when it comes to shared spaces and that sort of thing. But yeah, so once again, it says here that in 2021, goat and pig will fall in love at first sight. If you have material resources, then you guys will probably be able to spend a life together. So that love at first sight's with the pig's gonna be really good for you guys. So born under the sign of arts, the goat man has a true cult for beauty, his dreamy nature and wandering mood keeping him away from the daily realities. I'm noticing here it doesn't say anything about the women, which is a little bit, we don't like that. We want to know what the goat women are like as well. However, in love, goat man are almost entirely committed to their partners. They're very affectionate. They can keep a certain distance and awareness, but they can also keep a certain distance and awareness towards their own needs. So while they're, to sort of blow it to an extreme, while they're worshipping the ground that their partner walks on, they also understand that where they're standing is sacred ground as well. Which obviously might come across as them. And again, you guys are you guys are never snobbish and you guys are never bragging, so I am blowing this out to a complete extreme. But for instance, if the goat was also a Leo man, you've got the conflicting nature of him not being snobbish, but him being very proud and vain. So I'm gonna blow it to that extreme. Of, you know, it could be that, you know, not only they're very boastful of their partner, but they're also seemingly got this like god complex going on. And again, I am blowing that to an extreme. To continue though, it says here that even if a goat loves wholeheartedly, their need to feel that they are loved as well and that their spiritual needs are fulfilled in that same manner that they dedicate themselves to their partners. So if they're putting, you know, if they're putting their partner right up on this pedestal, they want to feel that their partner's doing the exact same for them, which, as a Libra and someone who believes in fairness and equality in all things, I can sort of understand that. I'm a little bit that way too. I'm obviously not going to be putting people up on pedestals because I'm not that way. But yeah, I can sort of understand the sentiment behind it. But yeah, so if that doesn't happen, goats will feel frustrated and they may even end up letting go of that relationship because it just doesn't align. They know their worth, I think is a really good way to put it. They know their worth, and if they don't feel like you are treating them as being worth that amount, they will just leave. They will go, well, you're obviously not worthy of what I have to give, so, and they will just leave. They need a stable partner who puts an emphasis both on the emotional side of the relationship and all of those, you know, icky, yucky bits that not many people like to deal with, as well as the physical side of the relationship, which is obviously the parts that everybody loves about the relationship. That's kind of what the honeymoon phase is. It's a lot of where are the barriers of our physicality right now, and it's not a lot of dealing with the emotional stuff. And goats like to put equal emphasis on the two. So if you're dating someone who is a goat and you found that the honeymoon phase ended pretty quickly, I hope you can now understand why. It's because they wanted, you know, to quote Hannah Montana, they wanted the best of both worlds. It says here, not least, goats need someone who can ensure their emotional well-being and also maintain their interest in the relationship itself. So yeah, if you're not going to satisfy their emotional well-being, or if you're sort of lacking in whatever the physical side of your particular relationship with them is, they're probably not going to, like, it's probably not going to hold their interest that long. I mean, there's a reason baby goats are called kids. You've got to basically treat it like, you know, how am I going to entertain this kid in sort of a, you know, respectful adult relationship kind of way. Yeah, health. Probably due to their serene nature, goats generally have fewer health problems. All that inner peace just helping to keep everything nice and zen. Um, their fragile exterior hides the fact that they are usually very healthy. When they are happy, they are also healthy. I'm wondering, however, if that means the flip side. If they're not happy, do they engage in... I'm thinking particularly like binge eating might be a goat problem, because we know the goats, the actual animals, eat anything, and I'm wondering if that's the same for an unhappy / depressed goat native. So if that's you, could you let me know? I'm actually very curious to know, because God knows that's one of my my usual tells. When I'm self-aware enough to realize that, oh, I'm actually eating a lot of snacks. Okay, today was particularly hard, and it's something I'm not dealing with, and I'll try to then deal with it. But I wonder if it's the same for goats. The Chinese horoscope warns that when those under the goat sign are unhealthy, especially in love, they very quickly get sick. So again, tying it back into the whole, they need both sides fulfilled. If you're lacking on the emotional side of things, that could pertain to some emotional or mental illness, and if you're not dealing with the, if you're sort of lacking in the physical department, it may be that maybe their fitness declines, and obviously with that comes a whole bunch of health concerns in and of itself. So yeah, looking a little bit like a glass tank here, but we still love our goat natives. We still love them. So it says here that at the beginning of 2021, don't avoid regular medical checkups. Obviously, we're in sort of mid to late 2021, so I'm hoping you guys didn't avoid your medical checkups if your sort of annual medical checkup was before this video. Hope you didn't avoid them. And beware of any stomach pains. It mentions here specifically, which again just makes me wonder, does that mean that you guys are like eating stuff that's not necessarily good for you guys if you're not mentally well? Do you guys binge eat? It seems like it comes with the territory of being a goat. But again, I'm very curious to know, so let me know in the comments. Low battery, cool. It says here that you guys are prone to low immune systems due to stress, which can lead to some infections. So a lot of attention to hygiene and rest is required. Please. The one thing that you guys should do for yourselves, if nothing else this year, is to get yourself immunized, try and avoid some stress, make sure you're wearing your masks, sanitizing your hands, all of that stuff, and wherever you can, take a moment to relax and just rest, whether it's your body, your mind, your spirit, whatever it is, rest. Because if we can kick COVID to the curb by the end of the year, I just know that's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants, is to be able to say that COVID-19, as in coronavirus disease 2019, didn't last until 2022. I know everybody wants that. So yeah, and especially since it says here that you guys, the goats, are are prone to low immune systems, it means that you guys are kind of more at risk of catching this, which is not great. It says here though that health-wise, towards the end of 2021, and again, it depends on how you want to look at it as being calendar year or lunar year, but towards the end of 2021, things are not going to be bad for you health-wise, but there is a predisposition to different accidents, so you should keep your self-preservation sense sharp. Now it's saying accidents and self-preservation, so I am taking it to mean like car accidents, work accidents, those sorts of things. It's not going to be anything to do with, you know, catching a virus or any sort of sickness in that regard. There's a specific predisposition to just unlucky life circumstances. So yeah. All right, your luck predictions and feng shui tips, and then we're going to get into your month-by-month breakdown, and we're done. So your favorable directions are northeast and west. Your lucky colors are yellow and gold. Your numbers are 1 and 7. Your favorable months, Chinese lunar months of September, June, and October. I don't know why they're out of order, but they are. So your June, if January started in February, you're putting the start of your month in the month that comes after it. So June would start in July, September and October, October and November. Meaning that pretty much from the new moon at the start of October to the new moon in sort of the start of December, potentially even the end of November, depending on when they come. I think it's beginning of December, when I think about it. That whole space is going to be really good for you guys, and you guys have probably just come off a really good month as well. Your unfavorable months are May, so that would have been starting in July to June. Wasn't so great for you guys, and November. So unfortunately, unfavorable month includes Christmas. Unfortunately. Your symbols for good luck, your feng shui objects, the mystic node talisman. This is one of the most powerful symbols for activating energy. Its infinite shape facilitating the unimpeded smooth flow of energy. It says to wear this to eliminate problems from your life and to finalize the projects you've started, which are both things that we know are going to be beneficial to you guys, specifically at the last half of this year. The 5-element pagoda keychain contains the 5 elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, thus creating a protective shield against unfavorable stars, such as 5 of yellow. No idea what 5 of yellow means. I'm sure if you guys are curious enough, you can look that up yourselves. As a keychain, the pagoda can be worn permanently for protection. So just put them on your keys. Simple enough. The advice for you guys for this year: you can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. Alright, now breaking it down, now I believe that this is calendar months, so January. For those who are born under this sign, it's very important to find balance between career and personal life in January. As long as you are content with your work environment, you'll be full of positive energy, which will also reflect in the home space. How does that sound for you, for how your Januaries actually went? Until around February 18th, you would have travelled a fair bit. Maybe the lockdowns weren't as severe where you were, and you were able to do so quite freely. You were also efficient in solving some professional matters in different locations, but you were also able to manage your own issues as well. Meetings and discussions with close relatives and friends were frequent, but you had to be careful how you chose your words. Romantic relationships and those with children would have remained tense and difficult to harmonize during March. It was probably better for you guys to let go of the relationships that exhausted you in all regards. Relationships with your close entourage changed in the middle of March, and letting go of some people was necessary in order to get closer to others. In April, it seems that you received money and favours from some people, whether they were relatives or your life partner or a professional colleague or collaborator. It was also a favourable period, especially sort of within that first week of April, in order for you guys to make long-term financial investments or plans. In May, after the 13th, you were required to pay some due taxes, bills, or damage claims of your life partner or professional partners. You had to be cautious regarding your budget and to keep track of every payment. And then on the other hand, around about the 15th, your earnings from your current job probably increased. June, you were very likely, so obviously not all of you, but most of you fit within the whole GOAT camp here, probably resumed some studies and some researches into your domains of interest, even if that included going abroad. Following the 18th of June, watching theatre shows, concerts, and reading spiritual books were recommended for you. And that may have even been, considering that you guys are very artsy people, that may even have been something that you guys just did because it felt like that's what was filling your soul at the time. The ability to actually go and do those things before lockdowns came back into place. In July, work conditions changed, or even the object of your activity. Your expenses were at a high rate last month, and you sort of had to be cautious of that. Some additional earnings may have occurred, but your effort, your work effort, sort of was according to that. So if you did extra work, you got paid extra, basically is what it's saying. So this month, it says that you will be gone from home for some time, or you have been gone from home for some time, and your life partner, your romantic partner, your whatever you want to call them, they feel a little bit ignored. Now is the perfect moment to do something that will blow their mind, and you might not believe that you're capable of doing such a thing, but have faith that you know your partner, because it says here that you're going to succeed in doing so. Whatever it is going to just blow their mind. They're going to feel like you fully get them, you fully understand who they are as a person, their specific interests, their specific, like love languages and all those sorts of things, and that you've just picked like the perfect thing to show them that even though you've been gone from home for however long, that you do actually care for them, you do actually love them, you do actually sort of, listen to them, sort of thing. It does also say here that between the 20th and 24th of August, you'll travel out of the city quite a few times. So if that's the case, it's very interesting that it's those dates, the 20th to the 24th, because the 22nd is the new moon. It's a blue moon. And if you're traveling out of the city, that says to me that you have the ability to, even if it's not the intention to, but you will have the ability to, if you were out of the city on any of those nights, actually go stargazing. Now on the full moon, you're probably not going to be able to as much, because obviously it's going to light up the sky quite a bit. But if you're already going to be traveling out of the city, and if it's going to be the thing that blows your partner's mind, maybe going on a little camping trip, taking a little break off work, going on a camping trip, might just be the thing that you guys need. Just as a personal recommendation. I mean, honestly, if I had the ability to do that, I would. But my work is not a full-time job. I can't just go, well, I'm taking the next 5 days off. You know, obviously letting people know ahead of schedule's a good thing. Don't just drop off the face of the planet. But yeah, why is it? Thank you. Wasn't letting me read September. So next month, something that you truly want will finally happen. Now, if this is, to take some inspiration off a friend, if this is something like you really want to get your film project off the ground, that's finally going to happen. Which means the whole process of production and all of that sort of stuff is going to start then. But the thing that you really wanted has happened. The results will be much better than you expected, and you will probably find yourself being rather speechless at just how well it goes. The good part is that due to this, you'll also be able to make a surprise to your partner, which is a good thing since you have run out of ideas. So yeah, this month you're gonna absolutely blow their mind and just go over the top and do everything, basically, it sounds like. And then in September, something's gonna happen. It's gonna be really good for you, and it's also gonna give you this ability to just be like, oh, well, now I have the resources or the time or whatever it might be to make this surprise for them, because I have no other ideas of what to do. In October, get ready for something novel in October. An extraordinary surprise is waiting for you. In our third last month number 10, most likely your life partner is behind it, who wants to make you extremely happy as a sign of gratitude for something special you've done. Whether it's the big thing you're gonna do this month, the little surprise next month, October, it seems very likely they're gonna pay that back to you. Your finances will also be excellent during this period, and it specifically uses that word. Up until November 7th, you need to be careful at work. Although you've done your job, some of your colleagues were preoccupied with other activities, haven't noticed your effort, and that'll cause them to sort of criticize you, because while you're keeping your nose out of their business, it doesn't mean they're giving you the same back, which is unfortunate. Arm yourself with patience and the proof of your results. Just serve them up, a nice patient serving of humble pie, and yeah, get ready to show them they're wrong, because obviously they've just not noticed. But again, be careful at work. I think after the 7th, once you've given them their slice of pie, just sort of give them the rest of the month to digest that, that they were so preoccupied with other things that they didn't realize that you'd been working just as hard at your thing, and they wanted to just criticize you for their perceived inaction on your behalf. And then in December, wrapping up the month, you'll be interested in money matters, such as when you receive payment, so that you can pay your bills and have no outstanding household bills, which is why you will not hesitate to put some pressure. That's how the sentence finishes, to put some pressure. I don't understand what it means. Hopefully you do. It says maybe it's time to make some medical tests. Probably take some medical tests. I don't know if everybody here is on the cutting edge of medical science, able to make new medical tests, but maybe taking some. Everybody can do that. So take some medical tests to remedy and imbalance some pains and get treated. Yeah. And I mean, look, it could be that getting those medical tests and trying to remedy that imbalance, those pains, and finally get treated for whatever it is, hopefully for your sake it's not COVID. But yeah, maybe that's going to be what is causing you to be very interested in your financial situation, so that you know you have no outstanding household bills, just to help give you that ease of mind that like everything at home is fine and you can actually go and get these things done. We also need to remember that December generally isn't going to be favourable for you guys, because that is the lunar month of November. So yeah, my best wishes to you that December goes as smoothly as possible for you guys, but just be mindful that that's coming at the end of this year, and try not to leave 2021 on such a sour note. But that's all I've got for this video. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, the article for this is down below. I'm going to be going back through all of my other horoscope videos, because the same website has just put up the 2022 horoscopes, if you wanted to read those sort of ahead of time, so that you can sort of get a general idea of what's in store for you next year. I know we're still 5 months away from it, but having that 5 months to sort of be able to plan ahead can come in quite handy. And yeah, they've been uploaded very recently, so your 2022 horoscope will also be down below as well. Now, if you're anyone from a rat to a horse, up until now you've only had the 2021 horoscope linked underneath. If you go back and view those videos again, you don't have to watch them all the way through if you've already done so, but the link for your 2022 horoscopes will be in the descriptions for them as well. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell as well if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. And yeah, again, let me know, my good people, when you guys are mentally unwell, do you binge eat? I think that's been my biggest question from all of the stuff that I've gathered. And I think that basically comes down to sort of the easiest bridge between the astrology part of this and mental health, which I'm a big advocate for. So let me know what your personal experience has been regarding that in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.